Welcome to this part of mathematics. In this part of limits, we're going to study and focus on logarithmics, logarithmic and exponential limits. So logarithmic and exponential limits. So the results that you have to remember in this case are, for the exponential limit, it is this. That is the exponential function. Limit x tending to 0, the value of which is 1. The second one is a general exponential function and not e raised to x. So x tends to 0, a raised to x minus 1 by x. This is ln a. And the last one is a logarithmic limit, which is of the form limit x tends to 0, ln of 1 plus x by x, which is equal to 1. So these are three important limits, and using these, we'll solve some problems. The first one in this type is something like this. That is, we have e raised to 3x minus 1 by x, when x is tending to 0. Now, according to the expression that we have learned till now, it is e raised to x minus 1 by x. So the quantity, that is the power, this power and this denominator is the same. Only then we can write it as the value 1. So let me write 3x over here, and then I'm going to multiply 3 over here. So what it means is that the value of this is going to be 1, and the value of this limit, overall limit, is going to be 3. Let's take another example. Now we have e raised to x plus e raised to minus x minus 2 divided by x squared. We have something like this. Let's see what we can do in this case. So now we have limit x tending to 0, e raised to x plus 1 by e raised to x minus 2 divided by x squared. Let's take this further, and this is going to be e raised to 2x minus e raised to x plus 1 by e raised to x into x squared. Now further, you can clearly see that this is a square term. This can also be written as square term, and this is the middle term. So we can of course write this as limit x tending to 0, e raised to x minus 1 the whole square divided by e raised to x into x squared. Now if you put x equals to 0 over here, this term becomes finite, that is 1, because e raised to 0 is 1. But then what we have in the final expression is e raised to x minus 1 by x into limit x tending to 0, e raised to x minus 1 by x. There are two limits, and this is going to be 1, and this is going to be another 1. So 1 into 1 is 1, which means that the final answer is 1. Let's take another simple example in this case. So e raised to sin x minus 1 by x. Now we have this kind of function. So what we do is, we go to get the same denominator as the power. So I'll multiply by sin x in the denominator, and then multiply by sin x in the numerator as well. And then not to forget this x. So now we got two limits, that is this, and the other one is this. So the value of this is 1, and the value of this is also 1, as we have done previously. So 1 into 1 is 1. That is the answer. Let's take this limit and see in what way we can handle this. So limit x tending to 3, e raised to x minus e cube by x minus 3. That is what we have. So e raised to x minus e cube. So what I will do now is, let us take this part as x minus 3 as h, because we can't apply the formula directly to this expression. So if x tends to 3, then for sure we know that h is tending to 0. So e raised to 3 plus h is what we get, minus e cube divided by h, limit h tending to 0. Further, we can write this as e raised to 3 into e raised to h minus e raised to 3 divided by h, limit h tending to 0. Now, e raised to 3 can be taken out, and what remains inside is limit h tending to 0, e raised to h minus 1 by h. Now this limit is standard, So we know the value of this, and the answer is going to be 1. So final answer which comes is EQ into 1, which is EQ. Let's take the next problem. So next problem is something like this. X e raised to x minus 1 divided by 1 minus cos x. So this time we got x into e raised to x minus 1. So we now need to write this as e raised to x minus 1 by x in order to get it in standard form. But since I've multiplied x over here, I'll have to multiply it over here as well. And 1 minus cos x by x square. We know this result as well. So let's multiply x square over here also. Now let's apply the limit to these things. Limit x tending to 0 and limit x tending to 0. So you can see that this x into x is x square. This x square is there. So both of them will cancel out and we get standard limits. So on top we'll get 1. And at the bottom, if we go by the sin x rule, that is, we can convert this as 1 minus cos x as 2 sin square x. And accordingly, we'll get the answer as half to this. So this can be written as 1 minus cos x as 2 sin square x by 2 divided by x square. Further, we can write this as 2 into 1 by 2 into sin x by 2 by x by 2 into sin x by 2 into x by 2. So the expression now that we get is something like this. And now you can clearly see that this 2 into 2, this 4 is added over here. So in order to balance it, I have to multiply 4 over here. So this 2 ones are and this is 2 twos are, which means that this is 1 and this is 1 because sine theta by theta. And this 2 will go on top and finally we'll get the answer as 2 to this question. Let us take some additional problems now of the logarithmic type. So the first problem is very basic. Limit x tending to 0 ln of 1 plus 2x by x. Let's see what the answer is. So obviously all I have to do is multiply and divide by 2. So this answer is going to be nothing but 1 into 2, which is 2. The next question is something like this. Limit x tending to 0 root over of 1 plus x minus 1 by log of 1 plus x. So here when I say log of 1 plus x, it means that it is assume that the base is e, and sometimes some of the books it is mentioned as log, some of the times it is mentioned as ln. Both mean the same thing. If it is log to the base 10, then it's going to be clearly specified accordingly. Now what do we actually do over here? Let us see what we can do. So now all that I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the numerator and denominator both by x. So this is going to be one limit and the other limit is going to be log of 1 plus x by x. Now once this is given to us, we can comfortably evaluate this limit. Let's see what is the way out. So in the first case, as you can clearly see, we can rationalize this comfortably. So if we rationalize, then what do we get? We'll get something like this. And of course, the bottom part is quite standard, which is going to be 1. So in the numerator, we are going to have 1 plus x minus 1 by x into root over of 1 plus x plus 1. So this 1 and 1 would go. X and x will cancel out. And thus you get, if you put 0, we're going to get the value as half to this. So the answer to this question is half. Now we have a problem which states x square minus x ln x plus 2 ln x minus 4 divided by x minus 2. So let's see what we can do in this case. So the first thing that we have to do is probably factorize. That is, this time we are going to combine x square minus 4 together, and over here we will have to combine minus x ln x plus 2 ln x divided by x minus 2. So limit x tending to 2. Let us write this as x minus 2 into x plus 2, and this we will write as minus 1 minus ln x, in fact, x minus 2 divided by x minus 2. So x minus 2 of course will come out, and what will remain inside is x plus 2 minus ln x divided by x minus 2. So this x minus 2 will go, and will be left out with this term. Now if we put 2 in the numerator, all that we are left with is this, that is 2 plus 2 would be 4, and this would be ln 2. So the answer to this question would be 4 minus ln 2. Let's take up the next two problems. So here we have limit extending to e. Let's do one thing now. Let's write it in slightly different form. So here you can see that limit is x tending to e. So we will write log x, and this we will write as log of e, because log of e to the base e is anyways 1. Now once we have this, we can write x minus e is some h, and as x tends to e, h tends to 0. So in the numerator, we will have log of h plus e minus log of e divided by h. Let's see what we can do in this case now further. So what I'm going to do is log of e, I will take out this log e, and internally I'm going to write 1 plus h by e, because when I multiply e inside, I'll get the same term back, that is h plus e, and this remains the same as it is. So finally what we have is limit h tending to 0 log e, using the properties of log, that is, this is a and this is b. So log e plus log of 1 plus h by e, using the properties of log, we get this. So ultimately this goes and this goes, and what we have is log of 1 plus h by e. So if I divide by h by e, I'll have to multiply by h by e, because whatever term is there over here inside, the same term should be there at the bottom. So limit h tending to 0 log of 1 plus h by e by h by e. This goes to, this part would go to 1, and we will be left with only one part, that is 1 by e. So that would be the answer to this question. Let's take the next problem now. So problem number 2 is this, log of 6 plus x minus log of 6 minus x. Here also we are going to use somewhat the similar trick, and the first thing we will do is take out log 6. So log 6 when I take out, we are going to get 1 plus x by 6 inside, and here we are going to get log of 6 into 1 minus x by 6 divided by x. So we will have limit x tending to 0 log of 6 plus log of 1 plus x by 6, and this is going to be log of 6 minus log of 1 minus x by 6 divided by x. So this and this of course goes, and now we will have to adjust in a slightly different way. So you can see over here that we got two limits. One, limit x tending to 0 log of 1 plus x by 6 divided by x. So we'll multiply and divide by 6, that's one part. And here we have minus log of 1 minus x by 6. So you can clearly see that here x has to be divided by minus 6 because this part has to be similar, and then multiply by minus 6. So this minus sign and this minus sign multiply and become plus. So all that we get is 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6 as a final answer, that is 1 by 3. So the final answer to this question is 1 by 3. This is a very important problem and has to be remembered. The trick of solving this logarithmic limits has to be remembered.